Imagine waking up one day and realizing something is terribly wrong. You try to move your arms, nothing happens. You try to move your legs, still nothing. You try to speak, but no sound comes out. At first you think it's temporary, maybe you're just tired, maybe your body hasn't fully woken up yet, but then minutes pass, then hours, then days, and nothing changes. Now imagine something even worse. The people around you, your family, your doctors, they start to believe that you are no longer there. They talk about you, not to you. They make decisions about your life without ever asking you, and you hear everything, every word, every conversation, every moment of doubt, but you cannot respond. Not even once. This is not fiction. This is not a movie. This is the real story of Martin Pistorius, a boy who disappeared without ever leaving his body. In the late 1980s, in South Africa, Martin Pistorius was just like any other child. He was 12 years old. He had a normal life, a family that loved him, a future ahead of him. There was nothing unusual about him, nothing that would make you think that his life was about to change forever. But then, something started to happen. At first, it was small. So small that no one really paid attention. He felt tired more often. His movements became slower. Simple things started to feel harder. Walking wasn't as easy as before. Speaking required more effort. His parents noticed something wasn't right. So they did what any parents would do. They took him to doctors. Again and again. But no one had answers. Some doctors thought it might be an infection. Others suspected something wrong with his brain, but nothing was certain. And while they were searching for answers, Martin was slowly losing control of his body. Day by day, step by step, piece by piece, he was slipping away, until one day, he couldn't move at all. He couldn't speak, he couldn't respond to the outside world. Martin Pistorius was gone. Doctors diagnosed him as being in a vegetative state. They believed he had no awareness, no thoughts, no understanding of what was happening around him. To them, he was alive, but not really living, but they were wrong, because inside, Martin was still there. At first, there was darkness, a kind of emptiness. No clear thoughts, no clear awareness, just nothing. But slowly, something began to change, like a faint light in the distance. His consciousness started to return, not suddenly, not all at once, but gradually, painfully, slowly. He began to hear things, voices, familiar voices, his mother, his father, doctors discussing his condition, sometimes with hope, sometimes without, and he understood them, every word, but he couldn't tell them, he couldn't move, he couldn't speak, he couldn't even signal that he was still alive inside. Imagine that for a moment. You are fully aware, you can hear everything, you understand everything, but you cannot react, you cannot move, you cannot even scream, you are trapped inside your own body, watching your life from the inside, while everyone else believes you are gone. Years passed, not days, not weeks, years. Martin was placed in a care center during the day. At night, his father would take care of him at home. His father had a routine. Every 2 hours, he would wake up, no matter how tired he was, just to turn his son's body, so he wouldn't develop bed sores. Think about that. Every 2 hours, every night, for years. That is what love looks like. While all of this was happening, the world outside kept moving. Life continued. History unfolded. Martin heard about Nelson Mandela becoming president. He heard about Princess Diana's tragic death. He heard about the September 11th attacks. He knew the world was changing, but for him, nothing changed. Every day felt the same, every moment felt endless. Time lost its meaning, except for one thing: the sunlight. Martin began tracking the sunlight in the room, watching how it moved across the walls, measuring time by shadows, holding on to that as a way to stay connected to reality. Because when you have nothing else, even light becomes important. Then something remarkable began to happen. Martin started coming back, not physically, not yet, but mentally. His thoughts became clearer, his awareness stronger. He began to understand more, remember more, feel more. By the time he was 19 years old, he was fully conscious, fully aware, but still completely trapped, still unable to communicate, still invisible to everyone around him. Imagine reaching that point, fully awake, but still completely alone. And then everything changed because of one person, a caregiver named Virna van der Walt. She wasn't like the others. She paid attention. She observed. She looked closer. And one day, she noticed something. A reaction, tiny, almost invisible, but real. She tested it, spoke to him, watched carefully. And again, there was a response. For the first time in years, someone saw him, not his body, not his condition. Him. She believed something others didn't, that Martin was still there. And because of that belief, everything changed. He was sent to a specialized communication center at the University of Pretoria. There, experts conducted detailed tests, careful evaluations, and what they discovered was shocking. Martin Pistorius was fully aware. He had been aware for years, listening, understanding, waiting, trapped in silence. From that moment on, life began again, slowly, step by step. He was given a communication device, a computer. Using eye movements, he began to select letters, one by one, forming words, forming sentences. After years of silence, he finally had a voice. Recovery wasn't instant. It wasn't easy, it was slow, frustrating, exhausting. But it was progress, and progress meant everything. Then something unexpected happened. In 2008, Martin met a woman named Joanna, found love, built a relationship, created a life. In 2011, he shared his story with the world through a book called Ghost Boy, a story about being there, but not being seen, about having a voice, but not being heard. Over time, Martin regained some movement, limited control over his head, some control over his arms, not everything, but enough to interact more, enough to live more freely. Today, Martin Pistorius works as a freelance web designer. He is a husband, a father, a survivor, but his story is more than survival. It's a reminder that consciousness is not always visible, that silence does not mean absence, that sometimes the people we think are gone are still there, watching, listening, waiting. Martin Pistorius didn't just survive. He endured one of the most isolating experiences imaginable, and he came back, not just to exist, but to live, to love, to be heard. So, the next time you look at someone and assume they don't understand, or they're not aware, or they are not there, remember this story, because sometimes the most terrifying place a person can be is inside their own body, completely awake, completely aware, and completely unheard.